Take Command podcast from Odyssey Sports. Logan Paulson there, Craig Hoffman here. Of course, you can catch me on the radio 4 to 7 each and every weekday. And then, Logan, you can catch us on the radio 10 to 1.
Right. That's right.
Pregame, Take Command pregame show. We're even calling it the same thing as the podcast now. The Take Command pregame show on 106.7 The Fan and the Team 980 Burgundy and Gold Game Day returns Sunday, so make sure you are tuned in. We will also be streaming live as well, I believe, on both YouTube channels, so we'll shore all that up. And there's one more detail that we're not allowed to say yet, but we will share that hopefully on the midweek pod. Stay tuned to the radio show and the social medias and all that.
I'm excited. What is it? Have we talked about this?
I think so.
All right, well, then I forgot about it. Well, I'm excited to hear about it.
Well, I'll share that with you when you share your power clean tip with me off the air. All right. By the way, as for the podcast, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. We return to our 3 times a week routine starting in week 2. We would be in week 1, but there's no game to review, and also it's a holiday week. So 2 pods this week, and then we go live on Sunday after the game to recap it. Okay. Final predictions. Let's. Thanks to FanDuel, unofficially, I'm just using their number. So it's not really thanks to FanDuel. It's thanks to the fact that FanDuel puts numbers on the internet. If they want to sponsor the show, they can. Over-unders for players for the season and 1 for the team. Howell, we'll start with him. Got 2 numbers for you. Passing yards first. 3,075.5. 3,075.5.
Wow.
That's the over-under number for Sam Howell. I will say this. I will go first on this one. If he is healthy, he should smash that by a couple, maybe not smash, but by a couple hundred yards. I think he gets it.
Didn't we decide that was like exactly what we thought he would have? Is like 3,700 exactly?
No, that's the thing. It's 3,075, not 37.
Oh,
you got a number backwards. 3,075. If he's healthy, he should get that fairly easily. But we don't know with health. I mean, last year we were gung-ho on Carson Wentz's over and on that one because of health. For as bad as Wentz was, his yardage total was actually pretty high, and he would have easily gotten his number last year, and he played all 17 games. I think I'll still go over, but that's if he misses like 2 games, then you're in bad shape.
No, I agree. Because what was Daniel Jones last year? Didn't we look that up? It was like 35 maybe?
I'll have to look up in a second.
Yeah, so I think I'd probably go over, even if he's like, I think that's a very reasonable number. You did some math, which I know is not your strong suit, but we did like a math thing, and you're like, if he
I just did math on a calculator on my phone. That's the number he's got to average per game if he plays 17.
Thank you. Yes.
So
and I think he'll be over.
Only 180 yards per game if he plays all 17 games. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, and especially like with the formula that you've seen in the preseason, like they want to throw the ball. And it's not like they're going to be throwing the ball down the field a ton, but like they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. And I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities for, guys who are good after the catch to make plays. So I would say over. I don't think they're going to run the ball as much as people think. And I think that's good because I think that's smart football in 2023. But I'm going to say over.
Jones last year, 3,200 yards, 3,205.
I think that's, if he's hitting 32, I think we've got a very similar situation here. Like it might be 31, 32, 33, but I think that's kind of what I see Sam doing this year.
All right, so we're both going over. Let me redo the math real quick. So times 17 divided by, let's say he misses 2 games, he's still only got to average 205 yards a game. I feel like
which is not insignificant, but
but with again, like all the screen yardage and the things that they want to do with the easy completions, hopefully it adds up pretty quick. Okay, this one's harder. Howell 17.5 touchdowns. So does he get to 18? Jones was 15-5 last year, by the way.
He was 15-5. See, that feels like a good number for me, but I like that 23 number. That 23 number feels good to me.
That Carson and Taylor combined for last year?
That's a lot, though. I'm going to say that seems right. Can you just say that's the right number?
I mean, that's why they put the hook in there, that 0.5, Logan. This is how gambling works. They put a 0.5, so you got to make a decision. If he's going to get to 18, he's over. 17, he's under.
I'm going to say over. I think he gets to 18 or 19, I think.
Okay.
20, something like that. You say over, too? It's a lot of touchdowns, bro.
Yeah, it's at least if he gets to 1, if he averages 1 per game, he's under.
Yeah. I think he'll have a game with 2. And I also think this is another thing about at least watching Kansas City. And they have the best player in football, a little different dynamic. But they throw the ball in the low red more than most teams.
Yeah, and they have like the tight end flip play. That's technically a passing touchdown, stuff like that.
And I think like the Bryson Tremaine touchdown in the third preseason game is a big part of what they want to do down there. So I would say I think he's going to, in those situations, like more opportunities. Hopefully that leads to a bigger total. So I'm going to say over. Even if it's slightly over, I think over.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that's exactly why you're right. Like the low red stuff where you get down there, they throw it in. I mean, not that he's going to do anything remotely close to Mahomes, but Mahomes the last couple of years touchdown wise is
it like 35 or something crazy like that?
Last year was 41. The year before was 37. So
Boom.
he's just got to get to.
So he's going to be way
17
over,
and a half. Seems easy all of a sudden. Just be half of Mahomes. Let's do it. All right. This one's tough. McLaurin, 69.5 receptions.
How many did you have this last year? Do you know?
Let me look. I was ready with a lot of numbers. This wasn't it. Last year, Terry had 77. He actually had 77 the last 2 years. He had 87 in 2020. Last time he was below this number was as a rookie. He had 58.
I think the only thing that would concern me about this is if Jahan really goes off or Logan really goes off and a lot of the production is diverted. I feel pretty confident about him being over on this. I think you've seen over the last couple of weeks that he's going to be a big feature of the offense, lining up in multiple spots. I mean, if he's healthy, obviously that's a huge if at the moment. But
that's my if.
Yeah, but and again, there's a lot of weapons here, but I don't think so. I think he's over that.
So if he's healthy, I think he's over. Toe injury before week 1 scares the Jesus out of me. If I had to bet this, I would go under.
You're going to go under because of the toe?
If I had to bet this right now, I do think they've done a good job. He's been in a boot. They're like, hey man, you be ultra conservative. You don't do anything until we get you in cleats to practice right before the game. But a toe injury, man, that scares me. Toe injuries are funky, man.
Yeah.
And they definitely can come back and they can cause other issues. Whole kinetic chain BS.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, if he's healthy, I feel like he's going to be around 75, 80. But again, you don't get your money back when you go to the window. If hey, my guy got hurt, sorry, sucks to be you. So I think my official prediction will be under for that.
Sure.
But I'm hoping I'm wrong because that means Terry's healthy and onward and upward. All right, Dotson, we got 2 numbers, 4.5 touchdowns, and then I got a yardage number in a second. Let's start with the touchdowns. Famously led all rookies in touchdowns last year, even though he missed a bunch of time.
Yeah.
What do we got?
A long time.
Over under 4.5.
I'm gonna say over. That seems like a low number for a guy who I think is going to be hyper productive this year. I'm on the Dotson train. I'm in it. I'm the conductor. I'm tooting the horn. I think he's going to be very, very productive this year. And so I think he's going to have probably 6 touchdowns, maybe 7 touchdowns this year. I'm very high on him scoring a lot. Now, the one thing I would say is that I do think there will be a lot of touchdown cannibals in this offense, specifically the backs, especially in the low red. So I don't know. I'm high on him. I think he's going to get a ton of touches. I think he's going to get a ton of targets and guys like that. I played with Julio. Julio was a classic guy who got a ton of targets and ton of catches and made explosive plays all the time. But for whatever reason, only have 2 touchdowns when I was down there in 18. So I know that doesn't always lead to touchdown production, but I don't know. I just think he's going to score a lot of touchdowns. So I'm going to be higher on that.
Yeah, 4.5 feels like a low enough number that you got to go over. God, we're such homers. We're going over
5
everything.
Touchdowns.
I know. Terry had 5. Terry had 5 the last couple of years.
And this is our Ashburn bias for sure. I just think the offense is going to be more effective, and I think he's going to be a bigger part of the offense. I just think he's going to be a bigger part of the offense. And again, they're not great with receiver. Kansas City being great with receivers in the red zone, so maybe I should be more aware of that. But God, I think I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over.
You almost talked long enough to stall for what I needed. Receiving touchdowns last year for Kansas City. They didn't have a receiver over 4.5.
I know.
Which is crazy. Kelsey had 12. McKinnon had 9. 9 receiving touchdowns for McKinnon. There's no way. I don't think a running back comes close to that this year.
I think B-Rob is close to that this year.
Receiving?
I think so. I think he's going to get a lot of touches. I think I'm close is like I think he has 5 receiving touchdowns.
Okay, well 9. I don't have.
There's a lot. I get it.
Mecole Hardman had 4. Edwards-Helaire had 3. Juju had 3. Tony had 2 in just 7 games.
Yeah.
And I can see them using Dotson in the red zone a lot.
But we just said Curtis is going to be that guy. So
I know, but I could see at different areas of the field the Kadarius Toney package going to different guys. That you want that like short, quick, bursty athlete down in the red zone. Like I could see Dotson getting those touches.
Yeah. I'm going to say over. Again, we're homers.
Say over.
It's before the season starts. Let's be optimistic, guys.
Let's be optimistic.
Ashburn glasses on.
Ashburn glasses on. All right, this one's an easy over for Ashburn glasses are on. Dotson 725.5 on yards.
Over.
If I put it at 999.5, aka is he a 1,000-yard receiver?
Over. I'm over.
You seriously? You think Dotson's a 1,000-yard receiver?
I think he's getting $1,000 this year. Easy. Like just what, dude? You've been out of practice.
He's amazing.
Dude's an animal, and like
he's so good.
And the fact that anytime he's played in the preseason, he's been the high volume target guy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's a reason for that. Sam's got good chemistry with him. Barring some injury, which, knock on wood, is very, like he was injured last year. I think he's going to have $1,000 this year. Grand plus. So I'm high on Jahatson. I told you I'm the conductor of the train. Like, it's Ashburn all the way. Toot, toot, Jahan Dotson.
Toot, toot, Jahan Dotson, all aboard, leaving the station, destination, FedEx Field. All right, 2 more quickly. They're plus 1,400, 4th best odds overall to lead the NFL in sacks. Will the Commanders lead the NFL in sacks this year?
4th best?
4th best odds.
I know you looked this up earlier, but do you know who was ahead of them?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I meant to go back to the page, and I did not.
So Philly, 49ers.
Philly, San Francisco were definitely 2. Why do I think it's maybe Denver? That doesn't feel right. Cleveland might have been up there. But you definitely got 2 of them. Keep talking.
Keep talking. So this one to me is the most kind of questiony, right? Because I do think that you got some very productive football players. Chase's health is a big one. John's health is a big one. I do think they are capable of leading the NFL in sacks. The other one is like Montez. Can Montez finish enough rushes to get in that double-digit sack thing? Because he's very productive. Like he's, in terms of hurries, in terms of all these metrics that you're looking at, like very, very high on him for that, but he's got to do it. So I would say, do they lead the NFL in sacks?
I can't find it on.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So
the other thing is the offense going to be, hopefully they'll be playing with a lead a little bit more. Hopefully the back end's a little bit better. I don't know. I'm on the fence on this. So this is the hardest one we've done so far. Because
I'm gonna say no. Here we go. It's Philly, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Washington, and Philly's pretty significant. They're plus 600. Pittsburgh plus 750. Washington's all the way up at plus 1,400. I just think also we talked about the quarterbacks earlier. Like you got a bunch of veterans who know how to get rid of the ball. Like that doesn't mean they'll be productive against this team, but like they'll probably avoid
That's a great point. Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, real test if our Ashburn glasses are on. Win total 6.5. Over under.
Over.
I walked to a window in Vegas and gave him money for it. It's over.
Did you really?
Yeah. When I was out there, I was like, I actually wanted to buy it up to 7.5, but you can't do that at a window.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was willing to, if you give me better odds, I'm willing to take, like, say, hey, the number's 7.5 instead of 6.5.
Oh, I see.
I'm willing to bet that they will win 8 games this year.
Yeah, I think over. I mean, when you look at the schedule, though, I will say it's like if you just based on right now, it's really, really hard to be like, oh, that's a win. This is a win. Like it's a pretty tough schedule. So I don't know. Let's see. Commander's schedule. What do you think?
All right, here we go. We got Cardinals. Are we going to do the win-loss thing?
Yeah, let's just do it real quick.
All right, Cardinals.
Win.
Let's win. We got to get to 7 here as I'm counting. Broncos at Denver.
That's a tough trip. Tough. I'm going to give it to them because I know their other ones are going to be tough. So let's give it to them.
Bills.
Loss.
Eagles.
Probably loss.
Bears. There's 3.
Thursday night. That's a tough one though. But yeah, I'll give it to them.
You're home.
Yeah. Oh, home? Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, home against Chicago.
So the other one is that Denver game. If they win that Denver game, I think they're going to be flying high. feel pretty good. But yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. So what's next one?
At Atlanta. Giving them that one.
Okay.
At New York. We'll say that's a loss.
Well, I think they split with New York. Let's hope.
Right. So that I was going to save the win for later. That was at New York. So home against Philly.
I mean, if you're just saying who's a better team, Philly's a better team. Hopefully they split, but who knows?
At New England.
That is one that is sneaky, especially with a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterback Sam Howell versus
against
Bill Belichick.
Here's what I'm going to do, though. They're at New England, then at Seattle. I'm going to give them one of those two.
Yeah, give them one.
Okay,
give them
so
one.
now we're at 5. Home against New York, split. They're 6.
Okay.
At Dallas.
At Dallas, probably a loss.
Okay. Home against Miami.
I mean, put your track spikes on, boys. I'm going to say win. I think 2 is hurt. So that's 8 right there, right?
That's 7.
7. 10. Okay.
At LA.
Oh, I mean, that's
late in the season.
That's a terrible trip, but I do think like they're a better roster, and if everyone's healthy, they should be good.
So that's 8. At New York, Christmas Eve.
And then that's the one where you're split, right? With New York?
No, we already got that. That's the Jets.
Yeah, Jets. That's a tough one.
I'll say that's New York. 49ers, home, New Year's Eve. Good luck.
Yeah.
And then Dallas to end the season.
So that's
I'm going to say they split with Dallas. That's 9 we just gave them.
Yeah. The ones that make me really nervous because of just covering this team are Atlanta, are Denver early, and Chicago early. Because those are probably games that you could win because of like where those teams are at. And I want to see a maturity that they do win those games. But I think those could, like Atlanta is it's not a tough trip, but that's a tough team to play. And the other thing I want to point out is that middle part of the schedule. I think I mentioned this when we did the schedule release. It's a lot of teams who like to run the ball a lot. How banged up are they going to be getting into that other second half of the schedule? So those are 3 games I'm really watching closely because like you can and you should win those games. If you do, I'm going to be more optimistic later on. But if it's like a slugfest and it's not pretty and it's not well coached, then obviously going to be a little bit. But I'm going to say over just because, we're covering the team.
Ashburn glasses.
Ashburn glasses. Let's do it.
6.5 over. I promised your wife this podcast would be only 45 minutes. I'm going to keep it under 55 because we're done now. So that's it and that's all. We'll see you for the Arizona game preview later in the week. Subscribe if you're not already. It's football season. What are you waiting for, kids? Thanks for watching this clip of Take Command. First, why don't you like it? It lets other people know that it was good, and then they should watch it too. And Logan, we have a new exclusive home for full episodes.
We do. 1067 The Fans YouTube page. Go check it out and please subscribe.
Yeah, do what Logan said.
Do it.
Very, very smart.